All right, in this third video, we're going to actually get into building out some of our real project. So I've got a terminal up here. We're going to Rails S to get the server running. I'm in the wrong folder. So let's go in here in Rails S. All right, great. So we're going to pull over browser and make sure they're up and running. We are. Great. Okay, so we are going to want to build, so this is a blog, so we're going to make posts. So for this, we're going to use the Rails scaffold. What it's going to do is generate a bunch of kind of garbage code for us, but it's good enough to get started. So we're going to do Rails generate. We want to do a scaffold. And here we're going to do post. The posts are going to have a title, which is a string. They're going to have content, but we're going to do that separately in a moment. And we're going to have published on or publish at. Actually, these are going to mostly be in the past. We're going to say published at. That's going to be date time. So we're going to have a title, we're going to have the content, we're going to say when it's published. We're going to have author, which is going to be a reference to the user that created it. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll go ahead and do that. And let's just take a look at what this is going to be doing. So it's going to be giving us a title. We want that to be not able to be blank. And published at can be blank. Author, no false foreign key. That looks good. This is going to be to, oh, I always forget this. I'll have to look it up. Rails migration. Foreign key, different table. I think it's 2 table. And it's going to be 2 table users. All right. That looks good. Our model is author, and the class name on this, because this doesn't go to this by default, it wants to go from author to an authors table and to a author class, but we actually want this going to the user class. And our post controller, that looks all right. Our post helper is garbage. We're not going to need that. Anyways, that's probably good enough. All right, so we are going to Rails DB migrate and build this out into the database. Relation users. Oh, we haven't done. Oh, right. I was getting ahead. We haven't done our authentication yet, so that's not going to be in there. So we can just get rid of that for now, and this is going to have to go away. We'll get there eventually. And that also means that our post form is going to need to drop their users. Let's try that again. All right, great. So we're also going to, in our application, we want to actually have kind of a system navigation at this point. So we're going to put in here that we want to render navigation. And let's just load into application folder. And we have underscore navigation.html.erb. And here we're going to have unordered list. And we are going to do a list item, and we're going to link to the, actually, let's undo all that. Let's actually make our routes, instead of going to pages home. I know this is probably fine. So on our pages home, we are actually going to want to set this up differently. So in our in our navigation, we are going to link to posts admin, and this is going to be going to the posts path, and what did I do wrong here? Oh, actually, that's actually render and print it. All right, so we can click in here. So now we have the admin path. We can make a new post. And this actually looks pretty garbage right now. And that's happening because I think we did not set up. No, we want to go in here. We didn't finish actually fully setting up Tailwind. So in our installation, we want to install the other plugins that kind of are, yes, the other official plugins. Okay. I think these probably need to actually also add to yarn. Yeah. That's why it's yelling at me. Yarn add tailwind typography, tailwind forms. Those are ones that are kind of the prose is tailwind typography gives us a prose class, which you can kind of throw onto anything that's actually like written text. The forms gives us some default styling for forms. So these give us a kind of a sane starting place. There we go. All right. So this works, but we're missing our content. So for that, we want to do Rails action text install with the right number of X's. And let's just check our action pack to make sure we got, yep, tricks and action text. Great. And let's go to our post model. And here we can go as rich text. And we can name what we this would kind of be like what we'd set for the field. So that we're going to say content in this case. All right. If we now hop over to the form, so we have the title, publish that, and here we can make this be, so we have title, we have our content, and then form dot rich text area content. See if that works. And run our migrations. Yep. And things are compiling. Yay, we've got a WYSIWYG editor now. Great. So we can do, now we'll have to go into our post controller. And now we aren't accepting author ID, but we are accepting content. All right. So in here I can go my first post and do, this is my first post. And let's make that bold and italic and create this. And the show's not working because we're still referencing that author. So that's okay. Get rid of this. And our table is also showing the author on the index page. Okay, so let's go in and show that. My first post, beautiful. Let's add the content at the bottom. So in here, we can just go and do at post.content. And there we go. So let's clean this up a little bit. So make it a little bit more bloggish. So if we throw a prose onto here, actually let's take that off. Let's go in here and edit this and do a new paragraph and go, this is some additional content. All right, let's update that. Okay, so let's throw a prose on there. Let's throw a margin X of 4 just to space things out. Oh, let's try margin Y to space things out. Well, that's peculiar. Why are you? MY is giving me nothing. Prose is giving me nothing. Interesting. Let's just try killing the server again, make sure it's not doing anything weird. Let's make sure you're compiling properly. Make everything text red. This doesn't show up and something's definitely wrong. Well, if I do that right, that will help. But also we do see the spacings change, so it is working, it just wasn't compiling. Well, now we're getting the prose, we're getting the spacing. Let's just make sure that so I can do the show. This might be, yeah, is this purging early? That's what I'm wondering. let's just disable that purging. We'll configure that later. Let's try and just get that to go again. All right, that gives us our 6. Let's see if that actually can drop down to the 4 without it being purged. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, so it's an issue with the purge. It's being set up in Tailwind. Okay. So, let's go in here. So we've got our first post. Let's do a change for this published at. We want that to not be all those selectors. So we want that to be, a datetime field. There we go. And so we're going to have here in a title my second post. And we're good. And right, now if we go into the controller for this, post controller, we want this to be order published at descending. Great. All right, so let's go back to the home page. So we don't want this to just be hello world. So let's actually, so before we do that, we're gonna use source control. So we're gonna add the stuff that we've edited. So we can see we've touched a bunch of these different files. Putting these into source control just means that we'll be able to keep track of what we've done. So we are going to say scaffolded the posts. Okay. So, all right, let's go to the home page. So on the home page, we're going to want to go back into the control, the pages controller. So home, we're going to say posts equals post dot order published at descending. But we don't want all posts. We want to have where the published at is less than and that's going to be time.current. So anything that's been published before now. So in our home, we now can go in here and we're going to make a div and we're going to style this in a bit. But we are going to be rendering out. So this is just the kind of slow way, and we'll change it a bit. So posts dot each do post. So we're going to loop through all the posts. And we want to render them out. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hop over to tailwindui.com and I think that they have a blog section. So we are going to grab, we're going to grab this layout here. So actually we'll just paste that in, save it, and let's just see that that's working right. Yep, great. So this here is each of the blog posts. So we can just grab that, we can get rid of the one. All right, so let's just split out the post itself. We can get rid of, that goes from the, from that to that. All right, so here's where we can go and loop for all of our posts. Okay, so this is now going to give us 3 of the same post, or not. All right, this is supposed to be the post title, so let's go ahead and put it in here. So this is going to be post.title. Oh, so it's only given the one. Why are you only given one? Because this one's not published. So we want this to be published today. Update post. And let's go home. All right. Although it's doing it in the wrong order. My first post is, okay, that's it. Changes publishing to be yesterday. And that should do it. Perfect. Okay, so let's change this to Jonathan Bennett. This here is when it was published. So this is going to be post.published at, actually, February 12th. Okay. And so we're going to change this to be again Jonathan Bennett. We're going to want to replace this image, but not right now. We don't have a category. That's fine. And we have the content here. Post.content. We want to truncate this. I haven't done this in a while. This might be wrong. Let's see. Let's say 250 characters. Actually, let's do like 10 just for. Yeah. Action text truncate. All right, that works. So we're going to grab the, so we're getting the content. We're going to turn this into plain text. So this is we now taking it and stripping all bolds and stuff like that. And then we're going to get the first 10 characters. Which is it? There we go. Actually, let me check. They're doing something with that. Probably using a variant for group hover, I'm guessing. So we'll have to probably take a look at that. All right. So, yeah. All right. So we have our blog post, go in, and we don't have a link. So we're gonna make this be a link to post due. And that will be, that actually isn't exactly where we're looking to go, but that's all right. What other? Yeah, this actually should go into the author. So I'm going to undo that. That is not where I wanted to do it. So we want to do that here. All right. All right, this is going to be, we want this to be going to the case study category, which we don't have. So this should be enough to get us. Link to post, comma. All right, that looks workable. Okay, so let's go into the blog post itself and hop back into Tailwind. And do they have a blog? Future cost section, facts, header, news, stats, testimonials. Blog sections, content sections. Let's just grab this first one, it's good. Okay, so let's hop back over to our show and throw that in. We're getting that there, great. So let's start replacing a few things. All right, so we've got some of the patterns and designs, introducing. So in here, we're gonna say, post.title. And let's actually print it out. Okay, so in here we have the actual content. So we're gonna wanna replace all of that with our post.content. They've got a, all right, so we could beef our model out a little bit more to add some additional content information. So we could add like, so for the homepage, we could actually have an initial kind of like our excerpt. We could have kind of our leading text here and then going into the actual post afterwards. Those are places where we're probably looking to do some of those updates. In here, we're going to want to go and you can move the title, publish that, content. And yeah, we probably just remove these things as well. So we're kind of building up the basics of the website. Yeah, so this is giving us our homepage, our editing page. Let's go over to the admin. This works well enough to do the basic editing. We can certainly flesh this out and do a little more design work to have the layout improved. We could add some more better navigation. So there's lots of room for improvement, certainly, but the basic pieces are in place for getting this to work. The one thing I want to do to fix, though, is I think that needs a group hover. Let's just reset. Let's go into the home group. Why are you giving? Oh, I know why. That is coming from the style sheets scaffolds. When you do a scaffold, this will give you a default bunch of styles, and we just want to get rid of that. Yeah, that's where that's coming from. That should be better now. Hey, there we go. Yeah, that ugly background was not quite right, so this should be better. So, so that is working and running, and if we want, let's just check out. All right, so we're loading this up in the iOS app just to check things out, see how things are looking, and we can see that it loads the homepage well. It's responsive. If we go into the post, we get you can reload the pages and go back home. If we go to the admin, this doesn't lay out really great. We'll have to work on that. But again, we can see our info. We can edit. And we can destroy if we wanted to. But we're not going to be working on that just yet. Let's go to the new. And we can go, this is from mobile. Here is my content. And we can publish that. Let's do that right now. Enter a valid value. All right, so we've got room to fix things, I guess. Oh, okay. Well, that did work. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so some things work on there, but the basics are working already, which is great. All right, in the next video, we're going to keep on kind of fleshing this out, looking at authentication and whatnot.